And the whole role of the boss is in these families was to keep peace in the family, and basically adjudicate disputes among the various people, because it's all cash business and all the transactions within and among the family members are not recorded. There's going to be disputes. And so they had these, what they called sit downs, that if two made men are in a dispute over some deal that they thought they had, they would, instead of going in the back alley and punching each other out, they sit down with their captain. And if they couldn't resolve the dispute there, it would go up to the boss. And once the boss said, this is the way it is, that's the way it is. And they also resolved the disputes across families by forming commissions. So the mafia, and to a large extent the Hells Angels, they had to invent these extra organizational devices like the commission and sit downs and things like that, because they didn't have the court systems. They couldn't rely on the lawyers.
When you think about, I'm just going with this right now for a minute, conflict management, the role of authority in that seems to be important. In other words, there's someone everybody knows who's able to say, this is the answer, and everybody salutes and walks out, and that's the end of it.
That's the end of it.
Yeah.
And, they're not always the end of it, because there's always hurt feelings, and these are violent people, and their feelings often get the best of them, and they go off and do dumb things, and they don't obey the boss, and then the boss has to decide what's the appropriate punishment. And usually the punishment is quite severe, because the boss wants to set the precedent here that the boss's word is final, period, except when it comes across families. Then the boss has to adhere to what the commission says, and he sits on the commission. So they had quite an elaborate, as you say, conflict resolution. And that was the primary role of the boss, was to keep peace in the family.